Hi stock investors, JJ here. Welcome back. Well, is Tesla stock going to over $10,000 in coming years per share? That's the claim from an analyst, and many retail investors, it has to be said, think this too. That's a huge valuation. That's over $30 trillion in market cap from where it is now. The stock's just over 200 as I speak. So let's see what they've got to say and I'll react to it.
Are you in the Cathie Wood camp? I think Cathie came out, friend of Yahoo Finance, frequent guest, always enjoy talking to her, but she came out recently, $2,600 price target on Tesla by 2029. What do you think about that?
That's the claim from Cathie Wood from ARK. Oh, by 2029, which is not that far away. It's based on robo-taxis, of course, and there's a lot of faith put in Elon and Tesla here to make the robo-taxi business really prosper and actually get going. Of course, the 10th of the 10th, October this year, there's an announcement, and they're going to show the robo-taxi. We think there's not a lot of detail on it.
That one.
It's a very reasonable price target. Mine is actually higher, not that I am doing as much extensive research as they do. When Cathie Wood and the ARK team came up with that price, they have not included Optimus. And we will actually see Optimus ready, Optimus, the humanoid bot that Tesla will start selling to third parties end of 2025. And for me, that is the biggest opportunity of all the Tesla opportunities out there. So if you consider, like Cathie, that just cars, full self-driving and energy bring you to 2,600 in 5 years, you should include the bot and you'll get to completely different numbers.
So what's your price target then?
Well, I'm very convinced that this goes in the 5,000s or 10,000s once people understand what Tesla is all about.
5,000 or 10,000. That's there you have it there. So who's this person? It says L&F Investor Services CEO and Elon fangirl, which might give a bit away there. And she is prominent on Twitter here on X. I find it hard to call it X. I still call it Twitter. Don't miss with Tesla retail shareholders. So she helped with the vote to get Elon's pay packet voted for by investors, and she was even, it has to be said, in the regulatory filing, Tesla's regulatory filing, it says here Elon Musk reposted her post. It says, please hear me out for instructions on how to vote. So basically encouraging retail shareholders to vote for Elon's pay package. And she's pretty prominent, but it does look like she's an analyst here, so is able to give investment advice, I think. So it's this reasonable. Is it a reasonable claim that Tesla's going to go to 10,000? It's one of the most that I've seen here, and it is over like $32 trillion in market cap for Tesla in coming years. And she says, based on the robot, is this clear? She is one of the pack of, say, Tesla stock promoters on X and on YouTube. This is another one. This guy who's following, it has to be said, following Elon down the Donald Trump road, and waiting for this robo-taxi to come out. This guy's another one solving the money problem. Never has a critical word to say about Tesla or Elon. So not very objective, you'd have to say. They all got these huge price targets on Tesla for coming years. Let's see what else Alexandra's got to say. Is it Alexandra? Yes, it is. Metz.
Tesla currently is still looked as a car maker. Tesla is anything but. I mean, these are robots on wheels.
I think that I'm just going to react to it here. I don't think that's true. I think most analysts are not looking at it as just a car company. Obviously, there's energy in there. Obviously, they've got things going on. But in terms of the financials, the revenue and margins have gone down, and revenue has not been particularly great. I went through the financials on my other channel, and it seems to me that these people are talking about the future more and more and not about what's going on. So there's a lot of belief, a lot of faith in what Elon can do and what he will come out. And it's becoming, I'm observing over time, becoming more sort of cult-like in its, in its belief, in his belief of Elon, that Elon can do this.
On wheels. It is very complicated to understand what a robot on wheel actually is. And they then focus on any car metrics that we know, because typical analysts will look at GM or will look at Ford and try to compare, or Toyota or whatever it is. And that's just not it. That is like comparing the old style phones with today's Apple smartphone or Samsung smartphone. So the comparison is just so different.
You recently had it was like a day or two ago, a cool thread on your X account looking at, or just talking about, if Tesla's still selling cars to, I guess, or just selling cars, I guess, through their dealer network over time. I mean, do you see a day where Tesla is no longer doing that and they are just operating a robo-taxi fleet?
I do, and I'm in the minority for that. I actually ran a poll. You're right. Thank you for going on my X account. I ran a poll asking my 135,000 followers and anybody else who saw the poll whether they could imagine that at one point Tesla would not sell cars to the retail customer. Now, the good thing, just to also insert that, Tesla doesn't have a dealer network. Tesla sells directly to the customer, which is much more cost efficient. No bad purchasing experience where you're for half a day stuck in a dealership doesn't exist. You do all your ordering online, and then you go and pick up your car. But anyway, so will there be a moment in 10 years, in 15, in 20 years, where it won't make sense anymore to sell cars to the consumer, but rather use those cars for the fleet, for the Tesla-owned fleet, which as robotaxis will serve people all over the world, but initially, obviously, in the United States, probably China, and very soon Europe. And then, has such a yield on those cars of incoming recurring income rather than selling it up front. You have to understand, a car makes between $5,000 and $10,000 of profit the moment you sell it. So you have one moment where you are getting profit. If you're running it as a robotaxi, you obviously have a recurring profit, which is much, much higher. There you're getting into the 80 to 90% profit margin. And if
it's a lot of assumptions. There's so many assumptions being made here, if I may say so. Not investment advice from me. Apparently, she can give investment advice here. There's a lot of belief in figures that we don't really know. Business model, how we're not going to work. If there's competition, there are already robo-taxis. Yes, they're more expensive. Tesla hasn't got robo-taxis on the road as a business yet. So this is extrapolating hugely. So in my estimation, it's not, or my opinion, it's not a great idea to extrapolate. It's very difficult. And as Warren Buffett says, we know what's going to happen with a company to a reasonable degree in the next quarter, but really, going years and years in the head, which is what ARK does, what she's doing here. Businesses that don't exist yet. Yes, Tesla has some robots going, but what's the competition? What's the industry going to be like? What are the economics going to be like? We can just guess, but there's a lot of assumptions being made and a huge projection on market cap here going into the future.
If you can use that car for 10 years, why would you sell it? Why would you give away the tool that makes you the highest margins?
But you have to have seen what happened.
Okay, there we go. That's all of it. What do you think about what she said there? Do you think that Tesla could go to what did she say there? Over $30 trillion into the tens of thousands, she said there, the stock price in coming years. There's a lot of projection here, a huge amount. ARK is one, but this is even a step further. And as I said, there seem to be a group of Tesla stock promoters, perhaps pumpers, who are saying these things projecting well into the future. And a lot of retail investors. It is becoming kind of like a cult. And Elon's behavior in the recent months, over time since he's bought X and he's on X all day and going heavily into politics. What do you think? I'd really like to know what you think in the comments about what's going on here. Is this possible? Is it probable? Investing is about probabilities. Is this likely? Is it probable? Or is it just putting so much faith in the leader, Elon Musk, to pull this off, to pull a rabbit out of the hat? Let me know what you think. Now, before I go, I want to tell you about this, the special offer I have from ShareSite, which is a portfolio tracking and reporting tool, a good one. I recommend it because I use it myself. Now you can sign up for free, or you can you can go and get the special offer for the premium plan for my viewers. I'll put a link to that in the description. Go and check that out. There's a video on the page. Just have a look at that and see what it's all about if you want to. And thanks for joining me. Thanks for your company today. On screen, I'm going to put a link to what YouTube thinks that you should watch next. There'll be a link to another Tesla video in the comments. One of them that I've made before is that another analyst thinks it's going to $15. So we've got $10,000 share price and a $15 share price. A massive difference there. So go and see that if you want to. And thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.